Hello, I'm Victoria. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. Today, I have a lovely energizing morning flow for you all. It's a great way to wake up your mind and your body and just get you ready for the day. So when you're ready, let's get started. I'm going to start with a couple of roll downs just to mobilize our spine and our neck and our hips and just kind of get everything quickly warmed up. So you're going to find yourself about hip distance apart. Your pelvis and spine in neutral, so that sort of natural curve you have in your lumbar. You want your ribs drawing slightly down towards the ground. Your arms are just long down by your side, and you're looking forward. So you're going to sweep both of your arms up towards the ceiling, towards the sky, finding the slight back bend, looking up at the ceiling, and then you're going to nod your head down as you sweep your arms down to start that roll down. You're going bone by bone, nice and slow, top of the head and hands reaching towards the mat. You bend your knees when you're down at the bottom, and then you're going to slowly come back up, belly button to spine, really stacking up nice and slow, first straightening out in the hips, and then curling up, unfurling up the spine. So let's do that a few more times. Inhaling to sweep your arms up, looking back, finding a little bit of a stretch in your chest, and then you're going to nod your head forward as you dive down, bone by bone, really using that center to help fight against gravity that just wants to pull your head and your torso down towards the ground. And inhale at the bottom, and then exhale to slowly come back up again. Keeping that chin tucked, feeling that stretch in your neck. And then let's do one more. The biggest one yet. Reaching, 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 feeling that stretch, and then coming down nice and slow. Moving bone by bone, knees soft. And then let's just stay at the bottom for a little bit. Finding a little gentle sway, side to side, maybe even holding both of your elbows and just kind of rotating, whatever feels good. And when you're ready, you're just going to stack back up one last time. Moving nice and slow at your own pace, stacking up, and now you're back in standing. Lovely. So we're going to move to the front of the mat. And again, you want to find that alignment, head on top of shoulders, on top of hips, finding that neutral pelvis and spine, that good posture. And you can put your hands just on your hips. So you're going to lift your right leg, shifting your weight onto the left, and you're going to step back into a lunge. So your legs are in 90-degree angles. The right knee is hovering off the ground right below your hips, so you feel that stretch in your hips, and then you're going to step forward and replace your foot. And then alternating legs, coming back with the left, bending, finding that lunge, and then stepping forward. And let's just do one more on each side like this. Last one. And then next, you're going to step back with your right foot and then bring your knee down. So you're in this almost lunge position that you were in before, but your knee is down and the top of your foot is pressed on to the ground. So taking care that your hips are facing forward, we're going to bring our hands into this sort of T position, shoulders relaxed away from your ears. Okay, and you rotate towards the leg that stepped forward. So in this case, our left leg. So moving from that waist, you're going to find that twist. Your arms and your head is just coming along for the ride, following the direction of the torso. Okay, and we're twisting to the same side. We're not alternating sides, just to the left. Really wringing our torso like a cloth, all while keeping our hips facing forward. So we're only going as far into the rotation as we can, without moving or tilting our pelvis. And let's just do 2 more. Exhaling to find that twist, and then inhaling to come back. Last one. And then bring your hands down. You can put your left hand on your thigh. We're gonna do some windmills with our right arms. So you're going to sweep your right arm forwards, and your head is going to follow your hand as it sweeps up and all the way back, reaching towards the back of the room. Your chest is opening and expanding, and then you're bringing your hand down, and you're looking forward again. So inhaling to start that circle, and then exhale to really use that center to find that twist. Your hips are facing forwards, not tilting towards the back, and then you return to the start. Let's just do 1 more in this direction, going nice and slow at your own pace. And then let's reverse. Inhaling to reach to the back, chest and collarbone expanding, reaching up towards the ceiling, and then forwards. 2 more like this, really keeping those knees grounded. Your weight is evenly distributed between both of your legs. 1 last one. See if you can reach even further while keeping your shoulders away from your ears, nice and relaxed. Lovely. You're just going to bring that left leg back under the hips. You're in this sort of kneeling position. We'll do a little bit of squats just to warm up our hip flexors, wake up our glutes, wake up our quads, all great stuff. So bringing your hands forward, palms facing down, just slightly beneath your shoulders so you're not sort of hunched and tight in the shoulders. You're just going to sit back onto your heels and then come back up, squeezing the glutes. So it's really just a slow and nice controlled movement. We're not trying to go as fast as we possibly humanly can. It's all about that control. We're using our center to keep everything nice and stable, really smooth, fluid movement. And let's just do 3 more. You can breathe however you want, but I like inhaling to come down and then exhaling to push myself up. You're keeping that head, that spine, and hips all in one line. Let's just do 1 last one. Lovely. Bring your arms down, and then we're stepping forward with our right leg. So again, finding that sort of lunge position, but this time our right leg is coming forward. If you did it the opposite way, then you know the drill. Ooh, okay. So again, finding that T position. We're moving from that center towards the foot that is stepped up, okay? And then you're coming back. Exhaling to find that twist, knees, hips really facing forward. They're counteracting against the twisting towards the right. Let's just do 3 more like this. And challenge yourself to find an even deeper twist every single time. Again, all without moving that hip. 1 last one. And then bring your arms down. All right, now you know the drill. Right hand on your right thigh. We're going to find that windmill. So, sweeping forward, your left arm, your head looks up to follow as it reaches for the ceiling and sweeping it all the way back, opening in the chest, in the collarbones, and then bringing your hand back down. And be careful to keep that weight just over your left knee. You don't want to be sort of leaning forward. The weight should really be centralized in the hips, just so you can maintain that stacked alignment. So the weight really should be mainly on the knee that is on the mat. And let's just reverse very quickly. Just 3 in this direction. Two. Again, keeping that ear away from the shoulder. Last one, best one. this side is always harder for me to keep my balance, to keep that stability in my legs. All right, and you're gonna step your knee back and just give yourself a little bit of a break. Maybe your knee's a little bit sore, that's okay. We can kind of move it around, jiggle it, move your shoulders and your arms, whatever feels good. And then whenever you're ready, no rush, we're going to come to our all fours. So we are finding our wrists underneath our shoulders, knees under our hips, making sure that the weight is even between the hands and the knees. Finding that neutral pelvis and spine, so just a bit of that curve in your lower back, the back of the neck, the back of the head is kind of reaching towards the ceiling, and you have a soft bend in your elbow. So we're going to start by drawing our left leg and reaching with our right arm. So we're pulling in opposite directions. Your hands are reaching towards the front, your legs are reaching towards the back into this tabletop position. And then you're bringing your hands and your knees back down with grace and control. And then we're alternating hands and feet. So then your right leg draws back and then your left arm reaches forward. And then you're bringing your knees and your hands back down. Okay, next time you come up to this tabletop position, you're going to move your leg and your hand out just a few inches laterally, and then bring it back in, and then place your hands and your knees back down. So you can do the same thing, reaching with the left arm and the right leg, lateral movement out like you're wiping a table, bringing it back, and then lowering everything. So just do this maybe 2 more times in our own time, really making sure that your hips and your shoulders remain nice and square to the mat. You're keeping that neutral pelvis and spine as best as you can. And you're really thinking more about reaching your legs and your arms long. Try to find that opposition rather than achieving height. Making sure your head is not dropping towards the mat. You're not rushing through the movement either. Let's do the last ones on each side. Really using that core to keep that stability when you bring that leg and arm out. Okay, so you're gonna keep that right leg up when you finish up, evening out on both sides. And we're gonna do some circles. So using the toes to draw almost like an apple-sized circle, keeping the movement really nice and controlled. Everything else is really, really still. Using that glute, the thigh to initiate that movement. Let's just do 3, 2, 1, and then reverse. Ooh, this one's always harder. Really using that core to keep everything still as your leg moves. Let's just do 3, 2, 1, and then bring your knee back down. And let's just press back just a little bit, just to give our wrist a little bit of a rest, and then we're back up on our all fours. Okay, this time we have the other side. So exhaling to bring our left leg up, again, hips square to the mat, and you're gonna draw that circle. So drawing the apple-sized circle with your toes in one direction, keeping a softness in your elbow for 3, 2, 1, and then reverse. And really try to prevent your leg from dropping too far down as you fatigue. Let's do 3, 2, 1, and then bring your knee back under your hips. Very nice. Let's push back into our rest position for a little bit, just to give our spine a bit of a counter stretch. Let our wrists rest. Very nice job so far. I hope this is waking you up as intended. Okay, and when you're ready, you're just going to slowly roll back up. And then we're going to find we're gonna find ourselves on our backs. So moving your feet over and finding that relaxation position, which is basically on your back with your knees bent. So your feet are about hip-width distance apart, knees pointing towards the ceiling, your pelvis and spine again in neutral. So you imagine there's sort of a blueberry-sized, a blueberry really, underneath your lumbar, and you don't want to crush it. And the back of your ribs are heavy and actively pressing on the mat. Your hands are just along by your side. So let's do some hip curls. So tilting that pelvis, scooping that pelvis, you're going to push your pelvis up as you peel your spine bone by bone up towards the ceiling. And you want to make basically a straight line from your knees to your chest. Your ribs are soft and you're kind of perched on your shoulders. And then you're going to melt back down in reverse. So your ribs melting down to initiate that roll down. Then your mid-back, your lumbar, you're keeping that scoop in the pelvis, and then you're unfurling it and re-finding that neutral pelvis and spine before you go again. So exhaling to scoop that tailbone up, pushing it towards the ceiling as you come up, vertebrae to vertebrae, inhaling at the top, and then exhaling to slowly come back down, really using your core to slowly and make this descent a controlled one. Okay, if you want to add on to it, you can exhale to send your hips up. Inhale at the top, and then exhale to come down. Except this time, when you refine that neutral, your tailbone is back in place. You're going to nod your head up into a curl up and reach your arms towards the front of the room, and then slowly come back down. So those are your two options. You can either keep your head down, or you can find that curl up after you come back down from the hip curl. So let's just do two more like this. Okay, exhaling to find that hip curl. And inhaling at the top, nice big deep breath. And then exhaling to slowly come back down with control. Going at your own pace. And then nodding your head up, shoulders up, hands reaching towards the front, and then coming back down. One last one. It should feel really, really nice in the hips, in the spine really, maybe even the chest. And then nodding your chin in to find that curl up. And as you reach towards the ceiling. You're gonna stay in this curl up position, hands reaching towards the front. If you're not already in it, please come up to this curl up with your arms reaching towards your feet. And you're just gonna bring your legs up into tabletop one at a time, and then just stick them together. And we're gonna go into our hundreds. So when you're ready, you're gonna inhale for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. You continue like this, inhaling for 5, exhaling for 5. And if you want to just increase the challenge just a tiny bit, you can feel free to extend your legs out long, whether it's up here or all the way down here. Whatever works for you, you stick with it. Let's just do 3 more rounds of the breathing. So inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring your legs back into tabletop if they're not already in it, and then slowly come down, dropping one leg down at a time. Nice. It is not easy to do the hundreds in the morning. So if you're doing this first thing in the morning, honestly, props to you. But anyway, let's just windshield wiper our legs back and side to side, just to find a bit of release in that lower back. It probably feels really nice after the core work. And then when you're ready, you're just going to grab a hold of your thighs and rock yourself up to seated. Very fun and official way to do the transition, obviously. So let's just do a little bit of stretching and then I will let you get on with your day. So finding a sort of bent leg position, soles of the feet on the ground, about hip-width distance apart, your knees are bent, and you're sitting up nice and tall. So you want to find that neutral pelvis and spine, and you want the back of your neck sort of pulling towards the ceiling. And your hands are just going to be behind your thighs, elbows bent, shoulders relaxed. So when you're ready, you're going to inhale to find this curve, belly button to spine, pelvis curl, scooping, chin nodding in, and you're in this sort of C-curve cat position. And then you're going to exhale to bring your belly button forward, pull against the thigh to open up your chest and your collarbone looking slightly up, finding this extension. So again, rounding back, belly button pushing towards the spine, pelvis rounding, chin tucking to find this cat. And then coming forward, chest leading into that extension. Just a gentle pull on the thighs. Let's just do 2 more like this to feel really nice. After a bit of that work that we did, no rush at all, by the way. Take your time. And let's just do our last one. And then when you're done, you're going to return to the start, looking forward, and just bring your legs into crisscross position. You're going to bring your right hand onto your left knee, bring your left hand slightly backwards, and just find that twist. Pull yourself into that twist, looking over your shoulder. And then you're going to return to the middle and then do it on the other side. Left hand goes to right knee, right arm, right hand goes slightly behind you. And you're gonna find that twist, pulling yourself against the knee, looking over your shoulder, over your right shoulder, and then coming all the way back. And that is it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed that flow. If you're just even a smidge more awake than you were before, then that is a win for me. But thank you so much. I will see you next time. Have a good one.